I feel honored to be in these situations that I could use my voice and do the things I do. You know, it's an extension of my family. It's like the things that I do. I tell my family all the time. I tell my grandmother, my mom, you know, they're proud. They're super proud and strong women, and they won't ask me for anything. And I say, man, you know, there are times where I don't want to get my picture taken, and I want to eat, and you know, paparazzi like take photos in your face and screaming at you and like taking pictures, and you can't take your kid to the park. And I'm like, those are the sort of things that give the reason why I'm okay with it, and why I can cope and live with these things without, you know, much as a complaint. It's the things that it allows me to do, the spaces that it affords me, the rooms I'm allowed to go in as myself. I walk in every room as myself. I don't walk in any room as anyone else. I'm not cowering, I'm not speaking soft, my voice doesn't change, it sounds exactly the same way. I'm walking as myself and proud, and I speak for us, and that gives me a joy. I'm honored to be in those rooms, and so yes. There's a knowing in being an artist. There's a knowing. You can't guess, you can't think. There's a knowing. You have to know that even if it doesn't work today, tomorrow, there's artists that I play that weren't popular at the time that I play more than I play current artists. Shuggie Otis, I suggest you just go look up Shuggie Otis. He was amazing. At the time, you gotta know Shuggie Otis? And at the time, it wasn't this hugely popular thing, but I think when it all is said and done, we would play that music more than any other music, right? So you have to have this knowing that, okay, it may not work today, it may not work tomorrow, but this is the right thing, and this is what I'm doing, and this is what's feeding me. So that would be the best advice that I can give you. That knowing, just believe in what you're doing, and if you don't believe in it, then you're not doing it. You haven't figured out the thing that you do best yet. When you feel it and when you know, no one can tell you. You only have to be right once. You know, I just lived such a rich life, you know, a full life. You know, that, you know, my first album came out, I was 26, and I had seen so many things in the street. So my attitude was like, man, I've seen so much, and you know, I don't have anything to prove. I know who I am. I'm a very self-aware person. You know, so when you're self-aware, even when you're dealing with someone's ego, you know when to allow it to, you allow their ego to live in its own space. You know, the problem is when you engage that energy, that's when there's a problem. If you engage the ego with your ego, then it's like, okay, now something has to happen. It can keep escalating to a level that can be irreversible. You know, but if you don't engage the ego, if you know how to manipulate or play around with the ego, or
that's weird in itself to people,
and you give light back to darkness, you
right?
know, it's very difficult. So that also can be you can misinterpret that as you know, arrogance. You know,
in some way.
If someone doesn't engage you in the way that you believe they should, then people's like, he's arrogant. He's act like he's above everybody. Like, no, I just don't want to argue with you about stupid shit. I just really don't have time to argue. You know what I'm saying? What I believe is, like, you know, don't listen to anyone. Everybody's scared. You know, everyone tells you how things worked out, but it worked out for you that way. You know, it's even hard for me to, like, you know, I say, you know, I just give the information and then let the artists make their decisions.
Right.
I can't say you should do this because this is how it works. You know, it may not work that way for, you know, artist A or B or C the same way it worked out for me. All I can do is provide information. So don't listen to anyone because their experience is unique to who they are. You know what I mean? And then a lot of people will try to put their fears on you. You can't do that. No, you can't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they just projecting, they're putting things that they don't believe that they can do on you. And you may possibly can do it. Like my uncle, like I don't think he meant that. And I know my uncle said I never sell 1 million records. I sold 1 million records like 1 million times. You know, so he was, I'm sure I'm his nephew. I don't think he meant any malice.
He wanted the best for you, but
he just was projecting
believe.
his fears and things that, are you crazy? How are you going to do that? How? You know, I'm sure there's things that I do now that he can't believe that I was able to accomplish. but he couldn't even see it at the time. So he was just projecting, putting his fears on me. So the whole thing is just, and always believe you're great, even before anybody else believes it.